Hello everyone. So I am really sorry that I could not upload more lectures, but today I'm back and I am back with another author named Sylvia Plath. I hope you all must be aware of the name Sylvia Plath because she is one of the most eminent uh, feminist writers in American literature, and not only feminist writer, but she has something in her which really seems to attract the readers towards her poetry. So, if you do not know who Sylvia Plath is, she and Ted Hughes, they were married and they were in a marriage which was not that successful, and it is also heard that Ted Hughes was the one who was not able to take care of Sylvia Plath, which is to some extent not true because Sylvia Plath and Ted Hughes had this immense passion in their love, but somehow because Sylvia Plath, she was really not very much in her well emotional state. She has these fits of depression and she tend to become depressed like every now and then. So it was not Ted Hughes to be blamed, but yeah, but eventually it is also said that after 6 months of their divorce, Plath committed a suicide, and it was not the first time Plath committed suicide. It was several times, but she was saved one or the other time. But this time she lost her life, and why it was so. Let us just read. So she has been she got Pulitzer Prize posthumously because she died really young. I think she was only 32 or 33 years of old when she died. And if you not know about her academic career, so she was a brilliant student. She was on the scholarship and she was studying in Oxford, and she and Ted Hughes, they have that immense chemistry between them, and that is why they got married. And Plath used to write poetry at that time also, and her poetries are, named as confessional poetry. And this group was headed by Robert Lowell and Theodore Rothig. And Robert Lowell is the teacher of Plath, so she was immensely influenced by him. So the main poetry which she has, in fact, she has written a whole lot of poetries, but we will just talk in brief. Otherwise, this lecture would be too long. I just wanted it to be very short and crisp. So she was the summer guest editor of Mademoiselle magazine in 1935. And now coming to the list of poems, The Colossus in 1960, the title has been changed 8 times, which was really bizarre. Ariel 1965, Crossing the Water 1971, Winter Trees 1971, and Bell Jar, which is the novel which under the pseudonym of Victoria Lucas. And this novel is known to be a novel with a key, means whatever the situation and the events taking place in the novel, it was due to a reason, so that is why it is called a novel with the key. She also wrote children books, and yeah, so most of her poems, they are based on the death and relationship with father, because she used to love her father very much. So that is what we will study. And the reason of her depression was that only. So let us now just read about Colossus. So this is an eponymous poem, and because she is mourning for her father here. This brings us to the relationship of memory and desire, and this is a reworking of the story Araby by James Joyce. So yeah, now you know it. There is one line from it: "Why man he doth bestride this narrow world like a cooling, like a colossus." And and also this title, like a colossus, it is taken from the Julius Caesar play by Shakespeare. So this is what, and here she is mourning about the legendary bronze statue of Apollo, and somehow the statue of Apollo has been compared to her father. So this is what we get to know in her poem Colossus, because this is one of the most important poems of her career. Then we come to Ariel, and Ariel, it deals with the dawn. and here she undergoes a struggle from dark to night. Again we will we are seeing in this poem that there is some kind of darkness in her poem, a melancholy and a very sad, melancholic tune and setting of her poem, which I think is fascinating, because then the readers, they have this curiosity in them to know the writer more. Now coming to her path-breaking poem, which is Daddy, 1962, published in Ariel. So Ariel, which we saw, this was a series of poem, like this was the publication, and under that publication it is published in Ariel. Daddy was there, and if you do not know, Sylvia Plath's father, he was a Jew, and at that time Jews were not respected, and at the time of Hitler in Germany, he did a holocaust is like burning of the body to purify yourself. Like the Jews, they do not have faith in Christ, so they used to be like burnt. So that was the Holocaust. They used to take them, the Jews, to the camps where they were purified, and eventually they had to undergo a lot of trauma. So that is what the images are there in this poem, Daddy. Now Lady Lazarus. So Lazarus, if you do not know, it is a very epic character, and we have also seen T.S. Eliot talking about Lazarus in his poem Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. So Lazarus has been brought back by Christ from death, and there is a line I must read out. I quote, "A sort of walking miracle, my skin bright as a Nazi lampshade, my right foot a paper right, my face a featureless fine Jew linen." So this is how. So we can see that everywhere she's talking about the Jewish treatment of the Jews. So like very much autobiographical, I would say. Then comes one more poem, which is Bertha, and I chose this poem to discuss because this has some other issues than the Holocaust or autobiographical. Here she is being a feminist, so this is feminist content, and it has been published in Winter Trees in 1971, and we see there's a parda clad woman turns into a lioness. So that means if a woman is wearing a parda, or she is covering herself, or if she is not speaking, that does not mean that she do not have self-existence. So by this poem, she showcased the real power of a woman. Like if a woman is confined, that does not mean that she will not raise a voice against her self-conscience or self-image, self-respect. So I should quote, "I lean to you, numb as a fossil. Tell me I'm here. Love is a shadow. I am vertical. I would rather be horizontal." So this is how, and I hope you like this short lecture, and let me know if you want me to make more videos on the feminist writers. I would love to do that. I hope this helped. Let me know in the comment section, and if you want to add something to this lecture, you are most welcome. I would love to hear from you. So I'll see you guys in my next lecture.